This was something I found a little bit relatable. So, right, I used to play League of Legends quite a bit. That was a while back with some of my friends. I ended up stopping because it seemed like they really put a focus on globalizing instead of actually improving their game with like servers and shit. League of Legends Studio says it's trying to broaden gameplay modes to accommodate aging demographic. Like, oof. This one hits hard. League of Legends remains popular in 2024 with the animated series and a new Bullet Haven PvE mode. So, League of Legends is a 2009. Goddamn, that's when it came out. Online Battle Arena was showing no signs of slowing down in 2024. Its charismatic lore has inspired even a popular animated series, which is set to debut its second and final season on Netflix. While the series pulled more of the uninitiated into a player pool, Riot is devising a plan to satisfy the game's loyal but aging demographic. In April, Riot announced a new Bullet Haven PvE mode, which will be released during the game's mid-year event this summer. It's expected the new mode will not be a permanent addition, but also it operates the same way as Vampire Survivors, and players can tackle hordes alone or with friends. So this Vampire Survivors is a really simple style game. By the way, this is by Joe Craig from DualShockers. So it's something that's pretty easy to play. Doesn't require a ton of skill. It's mostly like, oh, I got a cool upgrade. Maybe I should try and like get this cool upgrade, and then you have to make some choices that way. But there's also like a lot of like dopamine hits in it, like, oh, boom, explosions, confetti, new stuff, and then just hordes of enemies. It's a really fun type of game to like stream, and really easy to talk while you're playing. So it's, again, a game, I can definitely see that game mode being appealing to people that maybe don't want to sweat. The long-term balance of League players want a game balance after their 9 to 5. This is kind of an interesting idea. Like during a Q&A session, the game director, Poo Lu, I don't recognize that guy's name, studio head Adrian Von Rook acknowledged that the Battle Arena's dedicated player pool that remain loyal to the game for well over a decade now. It's certainly true that our audience is aging up. However, Lu stated the inevitability is not inherently a bad thing. Despite the intriguing around Arcane, League is not pulling in new players at the same speed as it was 10 years ago, which, I mean, obviously. It's not the same situation it was where you're middle school, high school, is the game everyone's talking about, everyone's playing, they've got competition during the longevity due to that few players play ranked at launch. Then competitive play increased within the middle years. However, Reddit is very aware that long-term fans need more balancing now, that for some of our audience, especially those that have a job or kids or whatever, we're seeing more shift towards, hey, I want to be competitive some of the time, and I want other exercises, I want other experience as well. So I know they added like an ARAM mode a long time ago. So it's funny as the dedicated player base gets older, less of a focus on esports and like sweating in rank becomes more important or more desirable as people, don't want to get from their 9 to 5, that sort of stress of like normal life, and then automatically want to like go into like a super competitive mode where they're playing like for hours and getting pissed off. But I find myself not enjoying that kind of experience as much anymore. Like as I got older, like I don't want to be super competitive at a game. I don't want to dedicate, thousands of hours to a game. I much rather have like a challenging experience, but a fun experience. And it's the idea that they're kind of like shifting their game to sort of kind of help that middle-aged player base, or like give them opportunities just to have fun. Like this quote, emphasize a shift during the 2010s from having fun with friends to swearing in rank queue until I quit for my own well-being. But the older demographic of the present seems to favor a more laid-back gaming experience with League after adulting. I hate that term, adulting, but an interesting idea is like League gets older and its player base gets older. Hey, Silver Bishop, dropping by to say hello. All right. sitting in front of sitting on a train, traveling across somewhere in Europe. Public transportation. This League of Legends, man, I haven't played that game in forever. I definitely stopped, but getting older. I wonder if esports, people are going to age out of esports. But I guess there's always younger players. But as games themselves get older, it'd be interesting to see if people just shift more towards like, hey, maybe you don't want to like sweat all day. Of course, we have, in some ways, you almost kind of see it with some of these games that are kind of esports, but at the same time, you have the victory. These battle royale type of games are not, I don't think, as intense. I don't really play battle royales, but I mean, competitive wise, it's not team versus team, straight up competition. There's always this element of chance in there. Like, there's a lot of randomness to it. So it kind of takes away a bit of the competitive nature of it. Even something like Fortnite, like if you compare like Fortnite to Counter-Strike, I'd say Counter-Strike really is sort of the gold standard for competitive shooting, while Fortnite is nowhere, not even the same atmosphere, really. Of course, I've never played Fortnite, so maybe that's an unfair comparison. But from my observation, it doesn't seem like there's elements there that don't make it super competitive.